How are you today, Melissa?
Oh, I'm great.
Great. Well, my name is Anthony Palomini. I'm the publisher of Out Northwest. Um, I'm here in Tacoma, Washington, so I'm super excited
Oh,
to
great.
be interviewing you.
Let this dog.
Um,
No, no, I'm sorry. The dog.
no, you're good.
Didn't know whether she wanted to come in or not. You can leave it. Okay. And if she wants out, yeah. Okay. Hi. Sorry, dog. Again.
Not a problem. But yeah, no, it's such an honor to interview you. I know we don't have a lot of time, so I kind of wanted to jump in. Um, Yeah, we are Out Northwest magazine. We're the first regional LGBTQ plus magazine. We launched in January. Um, we are putting you on the cover of our equality issue. And you have been a role model for so many people for more than 30 years. What does it feel like to make such an impact for our entire community?
Oh, it's actually been pretty awesome watching how far we've come. Growing up in the 60s and 70s. And you know, when you didn't hear the word gay or lesbian, you heard queer, you heard we were cursed at, but there was nothing, and there was nothing on television, there was nothing anywhere. And anything we did see, we were dying or insane. And so to have then in the 80s been an adult and walked shoulder to shoulder and side to side by with some of the greatest advocates and activists that did so much, that brought uh, the AIDS epidemic, to the forefront, that got movement on that, and then took that energy and formed it for gay rights, and grew and grew, and then it was. Uh, I mean, it was exciting to come out when I did. It was not, it wasn't easy. It was very lonely, but it was exciting. And then to see our community just grow and acknowledge itself, and knowing that our whole power is just in coming out. That changes hearts and minds and everything. So it has been an incredible time that I've seen all this.
Yeah, and that kind of leads into my next question. I want to call you the first rock and roll artist to ever come out, but that won't be true. Ja
Oh,
Rule was officially the first one until we lost him to the AIDS epidemic.
mhm.
But when it comes to coming out, do you feel, yeah, especially nowadays, I know back then it was a very different world. Nowadays, does it make more of an impact for someone personally, or do we still come out for our community?
Um, I think coming out is personal, and because it makes us feel stronger as a person, makes us just a whole person. When you are yourself, it benefits the world. It that's how it works. You don't do it for something else or someone else. You always do it for yourself, and by becoming a whole person, that's what makes the world better.
Yeah, speaking someone's truth. Um, Equality and equity have been talked about a lot more over the last decade, but our community sometimes feels like we shout it, yet we are deaf ourselves. When it comes to making our own community always feel welcome and involved. What would you like our community to do to be more internally inclusive?
Oh, understand that difference is what makes the world go round. That every single human being is different, and that's what makes us all the same.
Mhm.
And so, even within our own uh, community, we're all different, and there's never going to be sameness, and we don't want sameness. We want to ask for more and keep growing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, kind of piggybacking on that, as a lesbian, your identity has seen its own inequality. From the Rolling Stones not giving you the correct coverage. I did watch a Katie Couric uh, interview, and yeah, amazing interview. But it brought together equality just isn't for us as a gay community or the queer community. It's for all of the races, all the genders. And so, yeah, I wanted to know what the next most important issue you feel is that we need to focus on.
Huh. I think focusing on mental health, on how we're all doing, on understanding that it doesn't all look alike, and we don't have to all succeed this way, or do it this way, or love this way, or that mental health, and how we are feeling, what is right for us, is so important. Um, and that goes mental health, then goes hand in hand with drug abuse, and some of the pitfalls we can fall into when we're not supported for who we are. And I have a foundation called the Etheridge Foundation. I lost my son to an opioid addiction, and this is also a problem in the queer community and the LGBTQ plus community. And we focus on research into alternatives, into plant medicines, and making the research available so we can get laws changed and make this medicine available to people. So I would say mental health. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and I'm truly sorry to hear about Beckett. I know it's been a couple years, but it
Mhm.
never gets easier. You
Yeah.
just learn to cope better.
Mhm.
Um, and I mean, kind of going into that, we have a brand new generation that is starting to learn the new classic songs. I hate to say that we're old enough now that when it come to my window and I'm the only one is now a true classic. But what would you like the youth of America right now and the world to know more about you? And then what advice would you have for them finding their own way?
Wow. Well, gosh, one of my favorite things is looking out in my audiences now when I tour, and I tour a lot every year. I would like them. One of my favorite things is I see a younger audience. I see younger people also. My audience just didn't grow up, and that's it. It's passed down to their children, and the ones that were, ones that are about 30, 40 years old now, they're listening to it. And when they come up to me and they say how important it was when they came out to know a famous, out person, and that really means a lot to me. So I hope they keep listening, and I hope they come to the shows, see live music. Live music is good.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I apologize. The last one, halfway through, the audio fully on your end cut out when I went to
Oh,
go watch a video.
okay.
So I'm not going to start all over again. I'm going to kind of pick up where it left off. And we're talking about what, as a community, we need to focus on. And you talked about mental health.
Hmm.
So to piggyback on that, you were talking about the Etheridge Foundation and the work that you're doing there. Will you explain a little bit more about what you're doing? I
Okay.
know cannabis is one of those. Are you
Mhm.
working at shrooms for um, the
Yes.
psychedelic mental health benefits? I know it is proven to help a lot with like Alzheimer's and dementia.
Hmm.
So,
There's so many benefits from plant medicine, and the uh, the the purpose of the Etheridge Foundation is to fund research and get data on all these different kinds of plant medicines, from cannabis, psilocybin, yes, that's seen so much research lately, to ayahuasca, ibogaine, these MDMA, these other plant medicines that are proving to be extremely helpful with mental health and with drug addiction. And our foundation zeroes in on the research on opioid addiction and opioid use disorder, and even to alternatives for pain relief. So we're looking for all the different modalities that can help with not using the pharmaceutical, but finding this other alternative way. And we've just gotten great responses and wonderful data from that. And it's just ongoing. And every donation helps. Etheridge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. No, I would love to at a future date do a little bit more of an in-depth article about everything you're doing regarding the foundation. Um, but to move on, I know you're limited in time. You've been very busy with the release of your second memoir, and then taking a lot of your life and turning it into your limited engagement on Broadway at My Window, which I'm envious I didn't get to see. But
Mm.
now you have the I'm Not Broken tour, which is coming here um, next month, and then you come back again this summer with Jewel. I saw. What keeps you so inspired and motivated to just keep doing all the amazing work you do?
Well, I love what I do. First of all, I'm so blessed to be able to be a performer and do what I'm just loving, absolutely loving in life, and then to actually be able to do things that help people is uh, extremely rewarding. And just getting on stage and doing what I love is that's my favorite thing. So I'll get up and sing for anybody anywhere. So it's just there's not any special thing. It's just that I've been blessed to to have had dreams and keep having dreams and to reach for them, because that's where the joy is the journey in getting there.
And my second question kind of piggyback to that. Um, if performing in live music was you were setting down your guitar for the last time, what would you love to do other than performing in live music?
That's one of the hardest questions because I'm not good at anything else. But I can help my family. I can do things like and I can't ever imagine setting my guitar down. But my answer has always been, if I wasn't doing this, if I wasn't
Mhm.
singing and stuff, I would probably want to be in some sort of teaching um space. I love being in front of people and sharing and sort of that space. So my father was a teacher. He was a high school teacher, and I always loved what he did. So, you know, that's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and you do it. It's very much to the personality I've gotten to know from you because you really do impact so many people's lives. I was just on your Instagram feed and saw the video you posted coming out.
Mm.
Um, and that was precious. I
Mhm.
mean, Katie Lang was there and just yeah, it brings back so many memories of the Triangle Ball. Your courage really has inspired all of us. You've allowed us into your life. We've gotten to know you through your books, your tours, interviews, your cancer diagnosis, which was very personal and inspiring to literally the world. Um, the loss of your son, all the ups and downs.
Mhm.
You've made so many impacts on us. How has our community impacted you?
Oh, so much. The the mere fact that I landed in Los Angeles, discovered very quickly that there was no place in any regular, bar or nightclub that had live music for a girl with an acoustic guitar. That wasn't existing in 82. It was all I was labeled folk and said no to instantly. And then I went out to a bar with a girl. I went on a date to a bar and saw a piano in the corner at this bar in Long Beach. And I was like, "Do you have live music?" I said, "No, but hey, you want to audition?" And, yeah. So I set it up myself.
Mhm.
And for 5 years, I played to the gay community. I played to women and men, and I played women's music festivals. And I was just surrounded by the community, supported, and my writing and everything came from that experience. And then I got a record deal and was able to then start out on my own. But those 5 years of growth, of being able to sing and play and sing the songs that came from me, and even though I might not specifically mention a girl, playing them in the bars, everyone knew who I was singing about. So it was the LGBTQ plus community has supported me from the very beginning, has never stopped, and I just am so grateful, so very grateful.
Yeah. Do you remember the name of that bar?
Do I remember what?
The name of the bar.
Well, there were that bar was named the Executive Suite in
Okay.
Long Beach. And then the one I ended up playing at the most, there were two, were um, another one in Long Beach called Que Sera, which I didn't have any live music in it before I started playing there. I played there for 5 years. Now it's not even a gay bar anymore. It's just a music bar. Now it's just got live music. It's like Long Beach Live Music goes there. And then there was one in Pasadena that's now been torn down. It was called Vermes, but that's gone.
Yeah. I mean, our community has really launched a lot of careers from Manuel to Miller. I mean, we are fans of who we're fans of, and
Mhm.
they succeed gratefully in the future. My last question is, what does queer mean to you? We know the historical perspective, but we've re-embraced it. So what does queer mean to you now?
I remember the first time when I came from Kansas to Long Beach and started hanging out in the gay community. And the first time I heard from one of our own, oh, they're queer too. And oh, I'm just and I was like, oh, you're saying queer? And I loved the way it was used with such delight and fun. And yeah, I'm queer. And I instantly picked it up and would constantly use it, still do. Um,
Mhm.
I think I think it's the perfect term because, you know, back when it was not used as a sexual reference, it was, well, that's really queer, meaning just unusual, not judging, not saying it's good or bad, but just different. And I like that. We're just different. Just everybody's different, and we are different too.
Yeah. Um, but that kind of finishes out all of that, all of the questions I had on my side.
Mhm.
One project I'm working on is bringing back queer history because we've been erased
Mm.
so
Many
much.
times, over and over and
Yes.
over.
Um, and I'm super happy that you have two memoirs to document your life. What is it that you want people to remember about you? And then what is one person that you've learned that we've forgotten about that you would love for people to get to know?
Hmm. Because the first question was, what have I learned?
Yeah. Well, what do you
Or
want people to know about you? Like if
oh, about
100
me.
years from now, what is the one
Ah,
primary thing you want them to know?
well, I would like in 100 years to be remembered as an out musician, singer songwriter who achieved, great success being out, and sort of one of many that were leading the way in the late 80s and early 90s when we were really deciding to take this all the way over the line. And I was surrounded by so many just amazing people that were doing so much work from the AIDS crisis in the 80s, and that just put their lives and work and every moment of the waking moment they had to alerting the world to this and bringing justice. And then not stopping there and going forth with that. And one of those that was so inspirational to me. And we have, you know, I don't think she'll disappear from history, but boy, she just needs to be right up front is Urvashi Vade. She was a good friend of mine and she did so much. She, you know, was in, I remember when it was the NGLTF. That was the, you know, it was lesbians and gays and whatever, blah, you know, the alphabet was,
Mm-hmm.
but it's, she just always organized and she always found a way to invite me along. And she was the one who really inspired me to want to come out, to know how much good it would do for the world, for myself. And she passed away last year, a couple of years ago, and she's very missed. She was an amazing activist.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of one of the things I'm working on is trying to make sure these names, these people, um, aren't forgotten. Beard Rustin is one of those. I sat on the board for the National Association of People with AIDS, and we really tried to bring him out of the shadows.
Yeah.
Um, and so it's incredible. I want to personally thank you for everything you've done. You've helped me come out in my history, and the impact that you've had on the HIV community. I as well am HIV positive. I've been on the board of NAPWA and done my part, but we wouldn't be possible. People like me wouldn't be possible without the work that you've done. So
Well,
I
thank you.
want to thank you very much. You are such an inspiration. Thank you so much for redoing the back half of this. And I look forward to having you on the cover of Out Northwest.
Thank you so much, Anthony. Thank you.
Thank you. You have a wonderful day,
All
and I will
right.
talk to you soon.